Hey everyone, this week it's time for the January wrap up. We have a whole lot of stuff to get through, so let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the collection. This week it's our January 2025 wrap up show. It's everything we've added to the collection for January. Well, almost everything, because a couple weeks ago I bought this big box off of Facebook Marketplace and turned out to be a real big success. Had a lot of stuff in there. We went through that in its own show. So that was like 60, 70 CDs, some DVDs, and some books. So this is everything else outside of that we did buy for the month. And we have a little visitor with us today, which I don't think you can see him very well, but that's my cat Chandler. He is sleeping up on my turntable, so I can't listen to any music right now, but that's okay. All right, so let's get to it. What do we have? As always, I normally start off with rock candy. Um, this week or this month, I bought two. We got Survivor Vital Signs, only one bonus track, The Moment of Truth. This album was the very first CD I ever bought back in 1985, 1986 or something, was Survivor Vital Signs. And I don't have it anymore, so I needed to replace it. So why not get the Rock Candy edition? And then also another Rock Candy and another Survivor. This is Premonition, early Survivor, released in 1981 originally. No bonus tracks, only 8 songs. But still, this has Poor Man's Son on it, Summer Nights, Chevy Nights. So some good songs on here if you like early Survivor. This was one of those that I normally try to just buy one, but I keep my wish list on Amazon, and if it drops to a certain price, I always click buy. And this one actually dropped to a pretty good price, so I bought it. So that's why we have two. And then I always show off any Kiss CDs that I got, and I got quite a few this month. This one is with the single. It's the one that's Morimo Clover Z, something like that. They did a single in Japan last month. I showed the other single. This one has a DVD with it with the music video, and it's only 3 tracks, not like the other one had 6 tracks on it. So slightly different CD, different cover, different mixes, but needed both of them because they're really cool covers of Kiss, and so I wanted to grab those. Then the next thing I needed a couple different remasters. Well, I needed one remaster. I have the Destroyer box set, so I don't really need this one. But since I am trying to get all the remasters on CD, I figured, what the hell, I'll buy it. It was like $6, still sealed, so I couldn't pass it up. And then when I bought that, I realized I didn't have this one on CD. So this is the Resurrected Destroyer remixed album. I have it on vinyl and forgot I didn't have it on CD, so I grabbed that one as well. The last Kiss item was one more Kiss off the soundboard I was missing, and that is Live at Donington. Have it on vinyl, did not have it on CD, and this is the Monsters of Rock from 1996. Great set list, 17 tracks. I mean, these are typical songs that you would get from Kiss, especially around the mid 90s. This is the reunion era, so it's really going to be mostly early Kiss. There's not going to be anything newer on this one. So that completed. Now I have all 5 on vinyl and I have all 5 on CD. So that section's complete. And as you know, I'm buying box sets, the little CD box sets whenever I can. And at the end of the month, at the end of December, right into the January, they had this big 50% off box set sale. And I could have gone just nuts and bought a whole bunch of stuff, but I tried to be good. I did get the Police box set. What is this one called? Every Move You Make, the studio recordings. And it's also got a bonus CD on here called Flexible Strategies with, I think, B-sides and rare tracks. So I was happy to get this on CD. I have a lot of their albums on vinyl, but I didn't have anything on CD. So, and the other box set I got was completely and utterly unnecessary, but I'm a Robbie Williams fan, and this is Life Through a Lens. It is a 7-inch single, so you get seven, what do you get? Seven singles, all album tracks, and two bonus tracks. So basically, you have the whole album in here if you wanted to listen to it single by single by single. Like I said, not necessary, but it was such a cheap price with that 50% off sale. And I do like Robbie Williams. I have the box set for Life Through a Lens on CD, but needed that as well. So I grabbed that one. And as far as cassettes go, I got this only one cassette this month. This one is Def Leppard's Yeah. This was only released on cassette in India and Indonesia. And this one is from Indonesia. I've got a couple more coming next month. And then he threw in this little homemade cassette here called Slow Rock 3. As you can see, it's just on a Maxwell thing. And it's just a bunch of tracks we got from I-10, Tim Finn, Heart, just so many bands. Steelers on here, whole bunch of music, homemade. Haven't listened to it yet, but that was kind of fun. So maybe I'll throw that on when I get a chance. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the CDs because I got a stack of CDs as well. One of these bands that are fairly new, not fairly new, I mean, since the 2000s, they're out of, I want to say, Norway, or is it Finland? One of those two, is Wigwam. This was a Japanese release, has bonus tracks on here. It's got three bonus tracks. So there's what, 15 songs on here. I love the Obi strip and everything. And the nice packaging on this one with a slipcase. And then I also got their debut, which I think is this is the debut Japanese pressing as well. Hard to be a rock and roller. And this one is instead of in Kiev, this one says in Tokyo since it's the Japanese release. And it also has several bonus tracks as well that were only released in Japan. And one of them is a cover of Kiss's I Was Made for Loving You. One thing I really love about them is on every album they have an instrumental, and the instrumentals are usually just killer. The debut had two killer ones with the drop, and instead of eruption, they have one called erection, and it's a live version. And I think this one is the riddle, I think, on this one, but they're all just fantastic, fantastic instrumental guitar instrumentals. So, real guitar heavy band, very melodic rock, great stuff if you've never heard it. And as far as new releases go, I've got one from. It's not a new album. He re-recorded the album, and this is Will Hoge's debut album, Carousel. And as you can see, his signature is right there. He did sign this one for me. So I haven't compared the two side by side to see how different sounding they are, but really excited to get this. And I'll go ahead and show this one. I got it on vinyl as well. And here's his signature on that one too. So he did sign both of them. Very happy to have those. I'm a huge Will Hoge fan. Um, One of these sections over here is all Will Hoge. I think this whole line right here is all Will Hoge. So I think I have everything he has done on CD. So I was happy to get those. And then the first new release album I bought of 2025 is Tremonti's. The End Will Show Us How. And if you like Tremonti, it's heavy, it's hard. He's got a great voice. So this was really good album. So far, since it's my first one, it's my favorite one of the year up to this point. Another little series I want to try to pick up this year are all the deluxe editions that the Scorpions released a few years back. And this one is Love Drive. So excuse the cover. It's a little obscene, but it's still an awesome cover. This one has a bonus DVD. It's live in Japan from 1979. And then there's a little documentary on the end. And it also has two bonus tracks of demo versions of songs from the album. So it's a great little packaging here. They do a great job in them. Now that I've got one, I think I want to go ahead and try and get them all. All right, another one I ordered online, which is one I had a long, long time ago. And it would be funny if this was it. because I used to work at a record store back in the early 90s, late 80s when I was in college, and I'd pick up promos. And one of the promos I had in my collection at one time was Tattoo Rodeo, Rode Hard, Put Away Wet, and it's not going to come in very good. So, and it's got the Play It, Say It sticker, which mine had that as well. So it would kind of be hilarious if this was it, but I seriously doubt it. Anyway, great little bluesy, uh, hard rock, melodic rock, glam rock, whatever you want to call it, from the late 80s, early 90s. I want to say this one was, if I can see it, this was 1991. So, I mean, they came on the scene. They had a hit song with Been Your Fool. It was starting to go up the tracks. Nirvana came out, killed everything. So they didn't do really well after that, sadly, because it's a great album. Great album. And then very early on, beginning of the month, I went to a place called Second and Charles. Hadn't been in a long time. So I wanted to flip through all the CDs. And I got through a bunch that I didn't have. One of them is Saliva. So this is, a more modern album. Bloodstained Love Story is this one. I really like, I think it's Josie Scott vocals. I love his voice. So I was really happy to have that one. And then we have The Pretty Reckless with Goes to Hell. I don't know if this was their debut or early on. It was pretty early, 2000. I can't read that. Um, but really great. I mean, her voice is fantastic. Um, it's Taylor Momsen, if I'm not mistaken, on vocals, and she's fantastic. So love this album. Glad to have it. And then we're going to go completely different from a 1990s Christian rock or Christian band called DC Talk. This is just a greatest hits album. I really enjoy these guys. You've got Toby Mac, uh, Michael Tate, and then Kevin. I forget what the other one's name is. Anyway, just good rock, Christian rock, I guess, pop rock, however you want to call it, with some hip hop styling to it. Something totally different. But there's a lot of songs on there I really do enjoy from that time period. So. Then I found a whole bunch of Crowded House CDs. The first one we've got is Temple of Lowmin. I've got that one, which I don't know why the screen's not really working. Then we have Crowded House Woodface. This was a really good one here. This was might be my favorite of them, of most of them all, if I can remember them. And then Time on Earth, which was a more recent album from Crowded House. Um, and I can't see the date. My eyesight's really shot. So that was also something that I grabbed. So I got three Crowded House CDs. And then there's another band that's a more modern band from the early 2000s called Anne Berlin. And this one is called Cities. They really, I mean, Adelaide, Whisper and a Clamor, The Unwinding Cable Car, just really good stuff. They were kind of labeled as a Christian band early on. I think they have some Christian influences, but I don't really think they are. And then the other one I got was Never Take Friendship Personal, which is a great song. And it's got Paper Thin Hymn, which is probably my favorite song that they do. So God, I was happy to pick up a couple of Amberlin CDs as well. And they were all really cheap, like $2, $3 a piece. So couldn't pass them up. Then we have vinyl. So last month I picked up Cinderella's Still Climbing. This month I got Cinderella live at the Key Club, and I haven't even opened it yet. Looks like it's a gatefold, uh, just a single disc from recorded at the Key Club on October 2nd and 3rd in 1998. No overdubs to fix the rubs, no tricks or studio jive, the good, the bad, give all we had 100% fucking live. That's what you like. So can't wait to hear that one. And then I realized I didn't have Tom Kiefer's debut. So luckily I waited because now I have the deluxe edition. This is The Way Life Goes. It's on red vinyl, limited edition. But this one has some extra songs that the original release of it did not, including Nobody's Fool featuring Lizzie Hale, a piano vocal on Nobody's Fool, and then with a little help from my friends. So great stuff. Love the cartoonish look of the cover with the faces and everything. Great album if you haven't heard it. It sounds like Tom Kiefer, and if you like Cinderella, so I think you're really gonna like that as well. And then I was at my local store, Noble Records, and again I get lucky because, ever since Tim released his Red on Black book, Tim Derling, I've been finding Sammy Hagar albums, and this month I found Live in 1980. Hagar, love that. Yeah, him and his red. So the vinyl's on the back there. Um, Real happy to have that. Sounds great. Love that one. It's got all the early hits that you'd expect to have from that time period. Then we have Danger Zone. Again, another classic Sammy album. And lastly, an early album. What is this one? This one's just Sammy Hagar. So, and there's the red, if you ever wanted to know where the red came from. And there's the red label from the album. So yeah, I was really happy to have those. That gives me like 9 Sammy albums now, I think, not including the Van Halen stuff. So a couple Montrose, HSAS from last one, and then I've got at least 6 or so of his solo albums now. So I'll keep those chugging and try to find more. Then I found some Canadian rock, thanks to my buddies up in Canada. I've got Helix. I bought this because my buddy Mike Ladano at Grab a Stack of Rock likes Helix, and so I bought this one. I had this one on cassette. This one is Long Way to Heaven. This will give me three albums of theirs on vinyl. And again, if you notice the little Voice of America sticker, uh, Noble Records bought a massive amount of albums from the Voice of America collection, which had over 100,000 albums in the collection. I think he bought 20,000 plus. And I bought at least 12 or more of those. And then the other Canadian band, the debut album from Coney Hatch. I mean, I just love that cover. I might have bought this even if I didn't know who they were for that cover. And that's why all the writing is on here, because this is a Voice of America album as well. Really great stuff. Uh, I've got 3 or 4 of their CDs, but I didn't have anything on vinyl. And then the last album is The Outfield, Voices of Babylon. Again, another Voices of America. Um, and there's the label and everything. So yeah, I mean, I dig the Outfield. I think I only had one other Outfield on vinyl. I think I need the debut, Play Deep. Is that the debut? Anyway, I think I need Play Deep. So that would be all the ones I really want from them once I get that one. But that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed it, walking through all that. Thank you for watching. Please click like, hit subscribe so you can be notified every time I have a show, which sadly, I'm sorry, are not that often right now. I'm lucky to get 1 or 2 a month. I'd like to do more, and I'm going to try better in the future. So leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks again. We'll see you next time on The Collection.